And performing for the first time at Open Mic is Deidre Hughey.
I was really nervous when I saw Liz come up, and I thought, well, I don't have to go after her. And then Cal came up, and we all laughed, and I thought, oh, God. I just finished writing a book that is going through review right now, and Alice is actually going to be my editor. It's a collection of stories of women across the country, and I'm going to read a section from one of the chapters called, the working title of the book is Dancing in the Rain, Living with Life's Storms. This chapter is called Finding Our Way. Every woman in this book found a way to thrive beyond what their past dictated for them. As an adult, I have a very distinct memory of talking with my friend Diane, who I had known since 5th grade. She told me that from what she knew of my past, she was amazed I turned out to be a nice person. This is a true story. If she were to have predicted my future, it would have been that I would have turned into a bitter, curt woman bent on anger and living a tragically lonely life with cats. When I asked her why she thought this, she answered it was difficult for her to imagine that I could ever move past my history. It was hard for her to fathom that I could let go and begin to heal. I believe that if you took any one of the stories mentioned in this book, you would come to a similar conclusion for each of them. So why didn't we stay in a place of suffering? What made the difference for us? I had come to my own conclusions based on my life, but wanted verification as a whole and asked each of the women this question. What or who is it that helped you to overcome and move in the direction of healing? The answers are rewarding, and that it brings to light the beauty that surrounds us if we just allow ourselves to see. Each person was touched by something or someone outside of themselves. And it took an outside force to move each individual to think beyond their past, to look outwards and move towards a place of healing. In some cases, it was faith, or religion. In other cases, self-help books. In others, it was the kindness of another person. Sometimes the kindness of another was found in relatives, sometimes friends, teachers, counselors, therapists. In almost every single case, it was the love and care poured out by another that gave each of us the hope that our future could be different. I'm going to read 3 of the answers from these women. The first one was faith and religion. I knew I wanted more, but I didn't know how to obtain it. When I had nowhere else to go, I turned to church. It was uplifting and reintroduced me to my faith. With my newfound faith, I immediately delved into myself and I started to pursue my dreams. Getting into the core essence of me was invigorating. I would read and write every day. It was a cleansing process that I feel completely healed me. The contributor is Anjanita Prevost. I have permission from the women to use their names. This one is the kindness of others. In high school, I had an English teacher and a cross-country coach who provided many years of mentorship and support. I do believe he was pivotal in helping me to hang on. Once I made it through to 31, and that memory surfaced, I turned to one of my Reiki teachers, and he provided a safe space once a week for a few months so that I could navigate through the surfacing memories. Then I attended 8 weeks of ongoing group crisis counseling with a handful of women. Very powerful. Soon after I did that, I began to see a shaman for counseling, and he was pivotal in showing me I was stronger than I felt, especially being in the midst of new information about my childhood. He taught me how to take what I was learning intellectually about energy and apply it to my everyday life. He taught me how to see proof that I'm no longer in danger. That meant I was able to start accepting I was no longer a victim of external forces. All of this in the last 5 years. Woohoo! She writes that. Her name's Katie Custer. Last story. The most poignant moment that I can recall is when I was in a psychiatric hospital. My therapist, Dr. Carol Hertz, had talked me into committing myself with the promise that she would do her best to come visit me every week. This was quite a promise. Her office was almost an hour's drive from the hospital and over an hour's drive from her home. In addition, she was not allowed to conduct therapy sessions at the hospital because it was a closed system. True to her word, Dr. Hertz came and visited me every single week. And to the best of my knowledge, she never charged our family for her visits. For the first time, I felt cared about. I began to feel that my life was valuable to someone. To this day, I believe Dr. Hertz saw herself in me. And that thought gave me the strength to have hope that someday I would be successful too. During the tumultuous years after my release, I became a voracious reader of self-help books. Eventually, I've come to know God, find the support of wonderful friends, and start letting go of my past. The next most critical person on my journey towards healing was marrying my wonderful husband. His love, kindness, and patience allowed me to overcome my sexual trauma and confusion, as he would hold me close and allow me to cry, during many nights in the first year of our marriage. Deidre Hughey. Thank you.
Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da.